they've got 26.5 million followers or something.
Do you think they have to work?
But I didn't get a reply. Let me just.
Well, we did do this with all the prep in the world of Bruce was like, shall we ask any Man United fans to come on? I was like, I don't really want to talk to any of them.
I can't remember who. What was it called? Let me just. Anyway, I approached a couple of accounts on social media, asking if they weren't frightened of us, if they were prepared to come on, and yeah, there's just us three.
It's my favourite was Trev keeps tweeting me comments that Man United accounts are saying, and one was Man United have been training with anger in their eyes, seeking revenge on Grimsby Town.
Well,
okay.
They haven't beaten us. Isn't it over 100 years since they beat us at Blundell Park? So they will. I
think it was one of your first games, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, it was. I think my mum was pregnant. Actually, I was there, but I wasn't in this world properly.
Well, that's what happens when we beat Man United. Special night.
Yeah, there'll be a baby boom. be a baby boom, won't it? Won't it?
No one. You always wondered why your middle name was Solskjaer. Now you know.
The Doug Shack will be rocking more than ever on Wednesday night.
But he said there's anger in their eyes, and Christine, I'm pretty sure they won't have trained today, given they played yesterday and then have a game on Wednesday.
Yeah, but that was a Manchester United account that you tweeted that had got about 4,000 followers. That's like the equivalent of the pod account having about, like 20.
700. Yeah.
It's the Man United. If you're a Man United account and you've got less followers than we have on social media, then you are nobody.
Do you think we should jump ship? Do you think that's where the money is? Do you think we wouldn't have to work a day in our lives?
I have thought before that if I did from a selfish perspective, I have thought before that my account, if it was like Liverpool and you were doing the on this day stuff, I'm like, yeah, you'd probably have quite a lot of followers. But
why don't you do that?
This is our club, and it wouldn't feel the same anywhere. It wouldn't feel the same anywhere else.
Yeah, but you can still do this. The money was good. You can still do this one, and then do if you then start doing Real Madrid, Liverpool, and Manchester United. So you've got 4 accounts you've got to manage. You'd be quids in, wouldn't you? We'd come back. You'd be doing this off a yacht at the side of Monaco.
We might, you and Mike might have to tap up some of your southern friends if it was a Man United one. Just so that there was some correct accents on the pod.
Right, here we go.
Fenders,
Sorry.
I was going to say, if you translate that Man United account to like Mandarin, Indian, mate, you'll be making it rain.
I just thought, you know how we all, I think, get pissed off from time to time with some of the town fan base on social media. A lot of who you suspect don't actually even go to the games, and I think I mentioned it earlier in the chat. I was on the Man United. It popped up because I must have been Googling something or searching for something. It popped up on my feed on Facebook, and it was basically thousands of replies. The best fans in the world or something. We travelled to Fulham and now we're off to Grimsby, and it was like there must be 99.9% of the fans that comment from all around the world that don't go to the games. It would just drive me insane. I'd have less hair than I have now if I was a United fan, because if I was somebody that went home and away with my club and there's all these people that, it sounds awful, but there's all these fans from around the world commenting that it would mess with my head.
Could you imagine you've just lost 2-0 away at Morecambe and you've got a 5-hour journey home and the M62 is at a standstill, and so you've just had a quick glance at your phone and all you've got is 30,000 replies from people who have not gone anywhere near Blundell Park or near Morecambe at all.
But this is the thing, Bruce. Like, if you run the account as a non-supporter, don't matter, does it? It's all interaction.
You're not emotionally involved.
Exactly. So have a few burner accounts. Grimsby's your main priority. Absolutely. It's like a club versus country debate, isn't it? You know what I mean? Stick to, treat that as a job. Treat the other one as a hobby. Job as a good one.
Do you think Mike Newell and the 2009-10 team were sort of playing and managing somewhere else then, and we were just like a bit of a a bit of a
Laceby
burner,
Arms.
you know. Oh, go on, Baz. You go and just pull your socks on for half an hour and go see what you can do for a bit. But
they were playing for the
real
Laceby
game's
Arms
tomorrow.
That's what it was. They were down Laceby Arms. That was their game. Right, Sunday, lads. This is what I need to see from you all. Don't ignore the game against Bristol Rovers tomorrow. This is the big one. We've got a chance of winning the Grimsby Sunday League Senior Cup. Focus. No drinking after 11.
It was suggested on the group chat that we perhaps ask Dave Pye to come on, because he's obviously worked for the Telegraph and he's a Man United supporter. What I will say is Dave Pye has got tremendous Mike Newell stories. So one day we should get Dave Pye on, because he has got some great stories about being called up by Mike Newell on a Friday night, day before a game, going, "Do you want to come meet for a drink, Dave?" So yeah,
that sounds about right.
It's sort of this whole. I'm of an age now where I don't get, as you know, I don't get that excited or that low about most things town. But just today, seeing like the Carabao advert for ITV1 and the actual main ITV account sort of sharing the game, and then you see, like I say, on Man United, Man United with all their however many millions of followers they've got on social media. Next up, Grimsby. It's like, yeah, this is a bit real now. This is a bit real and a bit surreal. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting couple of days, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, after Accrington.
Yeah, well, mid-table team, who cares? One thing that Joss will say: last Man United win at Blundell Park was the 9th of September 1905. And we've played them a fair bit between then, to be perfectly honest. They've had their opportunities. Obviously, slightly nervous about playing a team that hold the record attendance at Old Trafford. And Bruce, you might be the only person that be able to answer this for me. Is it also true we hold the lowest attendance at Old Trafford too?
I'm probably not the only person, but I've heard whispers of that before. I don't know if it's true. We played Barrow there in an FA Cup second replay, second replay, and I think it was 8,000 to 10,000 perhaps, which is quite good at a neutral ground. But I'm not sure whether that's the lowest or not. I don't know. But that's the game. That's the game that you're referring to.
Now I've just had a look. Now they're saying the lowest attendance at Old Trafford is on the 7th of May 1921. The ground hosted a second division match between Stockport County and Leicester, and the official attendance was 13.
We might struggle to beat that then. I want to say this was in the I want to say it was in the 50s, but it might have been the 60s. Talk amongst yourselves.
Can we first pass on our congratulations to Mighty Mariner, who absolutely obliterated everybody at Epsom today in the mascot race? Absolutely worth looking at. I mean, Bruce, I don't know if you've taught him as much as you can, but he annihilated won it by furlongs.
It's our first title of the season, isn't it?
Do you think the club will allow him to parade it at half time on Wednesday?
I'd like to see him run round with it. But yeah, he came through the pack, didn't he? It was exceptional. The only time I've seen him go that fast is when we used to serve sausage rolls. Scotch eggs, sorry. That ruined that, didn't it? But yeah, no, he's a good lad, James, and yeah, he's been hard in training apparently. Andy did it for charity, didn't he?
I hope not. I hope he made a fair wedge.
Yeah. It's as Fenner said, sets the precedent for the season now, doesn't it? First trophy won, Mark has set down, Mighty is leading the way. So come on, the boys. First one down, more to go.
Starting with the League Cup.
Mascot race champion, you'll never sing that.
Oh, here he is, live from Wetherspoons.
No, I'm not. I'm stood on a hill.
Like a Disney princess.
Yeah, I'm stood on a hill, contemplating rolling down it.
Do it, do it, do it.
We don't want no Humpty Dumpty jokes, though, youngie, please.
Cool, I teed it up for you there, fellas.
I'll be 2 seconds, gents. I'm just going to.
When it was Jack and Jill, when it went down. Oh God, I'm not doing very well tonight.
Yeah, Humpty Dumpty had a wall, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He fell off the wall. I'm lining them up, and I'm like Towns Attack, aren't I? On Saturday, I'm just I'm creating the chances, and I'm just putting them wide. Bloody idiot.
Well, seeing how you mentioned it, Bruce, how was Saturday? Because obviously you weren't here yesterday. So how was what looked like quite a messy a day out in Accrington and beyond? How was the day out? How was the game? And how was you on Sunday?
Good feeling, Youngie. Well done.
The day out was good. I'll be brief because this is you've covered this, haven't you? But the day out was good. The breakfast venue was good. We went to Pontefract for breakfast, and one of the lads had lined up a pub in Pontefract, but we didn't realise it was dry. But it was only 9 a.m. They were serving breakfast, but they weren't serving beer. But that was good. Good trip over there. Driver did very well, putting up with everybody. It was good. It's a good day out. Didn't drink too much after the game on the way back, but we did stop in Pontefract for an hour and a half that we were allowed, and we visited some sort of. There were some quality establishments that behind, that were sort of like didn't look anything, and then you open the door and it was just full of. The dance floor was packed at 7:30. That sort of place that's quite hard to find. But yeah, there was a couple of good places. Got dropped off on the way home, at home or near home. So I was, although I'd had a good day out and a few drinks, I was all right because I was home at 10:30. So I was in bed at a reasonable hour. So yeah, all good, thank you. But yeah, you can't keep missing penalties, can you? And yeah, that would be my take on the game.
And how was Orphan Boy yesterday? How was the festival? Look good. Look good turnout.
The Shop Local Festival at the Cricket Club was very good. It was sold out over 1,000, which is good. It was the first one that they'd done. Very well organised. Even with that many people there, the queues for the bar were a little bit big at times, but only for an hour or two, and then it sort of.
Did you lose your space then?
Sorry,
you've got a usual space at the Cleethorpes Cricket Club against the bar. Was it not reserved for you?
No. But yeah, no, it was really good, Youngie. And the people that Tippers, who's one of the regulars and a big music fan, he organised it, and the whole staff and everybody was brilliant, and it worked really well. And the bands were really good. A lot. You know me, I'm not a music connoisseur, but no, I enjoyed a few of them. There were a couple of good young bands, so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, Mark says, Bruce, you used to get really excited when it was your round in the R&A.
That was cheap. But yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about me. We're not here to talk about Accrington, and we're not here to talk about the cricket club, are we?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's effectively a very good marketing exercise. Manchester United are a club that I've always wanted to see us play against. Obviously, unless you remember the war, you're very unlikely to remember us playing them last time. And it just seems to be a quirk of fate more than anything. And isn't it interesting? The last few years we've picked up, well, obviously, but given we haven't played Southampton since the 70s and Manchester United since the late 40s, those two teams were the ones that most people had to tick off. And we've got them in pretty short time. And hopefully what happened at Southampton will happen again, but no VAR. I assume Kev and the team in the police box don't have the facilities for VAR, unless I've got Dave Moore working the rock and roll.
Could we just volunteer Bruce running up and down the lower Findus with his camera for offside?
That'd be great. Could you imagine it? Bruce running up and down and falling over halfway just as it gets to an important moment. Jay's Caviar's onside and he just falls.
tripping over a cameraman on a chair or something that's not normally there.
And your pint goes flying.
I'm not drinking on Wednesday.
Why not?
I'm No, that's a big shout. Actually, no, I'm not planning on drinking on Wednesday.
But what happens if we win, Bruce? Surely we're all going down Meggy's for a night in the Swashy till 2.
That's different. That's different if we win. If we win, then I'll be like those Celtic fans that went to Lisbon for the European Cup final and never came home.
You'll be like, who was it that went missing when we won the playoffs in 2016? George Robertson? Who's the guy that writes the articles in the Times? Gregor Robertson. He was last seen walking down St. Peter's Avenue with a kebab in one hand and a bottle of beer in the other, and he wasn't seen for a day or two.
Yeah, me if we win on Wednesday, me and Youngie will we will resemble Flintoff and Peterson for the cricket fans on Thursday morning.
We will do a morning if we win Thursday morning 9 a.m. We'll do a live pod.
Yeah, remember in the Hawaiian Eye.
Yeah.
Remember the old when Sky Sports was good, and they used to do that Sunday supplement where they all sat with the newspapers at breakfast and a croissant and a fresh orange. That'll be us with a fry up and a pint.
Let's do it down the Hawaiian Eye. Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah. Just bleary eyed and
Okay, let's put it out there now. If Town win, hold us to this. If Town win, we will be a
pint of bitter in the Grimsby Telegraph
on Thursday, and we will do a live podcast in whatever state we are in. We will do it
from the Hawaiian Eye, which is I don't even think it's called Hawaiian Eye anymore. So it'll only be experienced
Eagles now.
But it is very walkable from the Swashy.
Yes, it is. It's not.
And it's downhill
from them.
And it's downhill from the Swashy.
Yeah, but you can't stop. The momentum will have taken you because you'll have lost all muscle power in your legs, and you'll just keep walking into the sea.
Has anybody actually done any research into this, what they call Manchester United?
Yes. So used to be big, no longer that good. Mid-table. They've got revenge in their eyes, and they're looking to get back at us because they've got a very, as I tweeted, it's a very 2000 championship fixture list Manchester United have got this month. They've just played Fulham, then they've got us, and then they've got Burnley. Does that help?
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
I like Hot Sauce 955's comment that he started working at Tesco, saw Pearson the other week. If we win on Wednesday, he's getting my staff card from now on. This is what we need. More local initiatives to encourage the team to do well.
What kind of things do you get on the staff card? Because when I worked at Morrison's, it was pretty shit. You used to get, I think, 17.8. I think it was the old VAT. You basically got the tax off, but you'd have to, instead of being given a card, you get discount on. And it was on everything but food. You could get it on things but food and fuel, the stuff they sold. So you could get a CD, and then you would have to pay full price, and then you would have to write it on a little card while you're there, and then they'd give it back in your pay packet the next month. Absolute shite.
It'll be something like buy one get one free on Tagliatelle or something,
Flat 15% off. He says. Does that include fuel, Hot Sauce? Sorry, Bruce.
Maybe we ought to be aim a little bit higher than that. Then perhaps if it's that shit, maybe like limitless lifetime rides on them rides that are on the seafront.
If we lose, because that's not an issue. That's a
threat, got private health insurance.
You've got to go, we've got McCracken's got to go 55 times on the Helter Skelter that's been there since that gets flooded every time there's a high tide and it's rusty and rotten.
Did you not see that someone took a photo and it's literally not on anything? There's no foundations. It was just hovering over the sand. One of the legs.
I tell you what, if that happens, you'll hear about a spike in tetanus jabs in the northeast Lincolnshire area.
McEachran's out again. Why is he out? Oh, he did 25s on that carousel, for fuck's sake. He's gone again.
Friction burns on the Helter Skelter.
That Ferris wheel goes a fair lick when you're on it, and it doesn't feel like anything's hot supporting it when it stops. Scary.
Mark Worrell, free entry into Dappers and the Carousel. That's the talk, Mark. Yes. We will literally will take them back to the mid-90s. Go, this was what life was like, lads. Have a night out on us.
How about this for an initiative? Because I think we could all pull this together. If we win for one night only, we bring back the Bags Ball.
Shout. That is a massive shout.
Do you know what?
Will, you're listening.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
We didn't win, but as fate would have it, and this is frightening, the last time I ever went to the Bags Ball, and not very long before it closed down, was the night of the Newcastle game in 2005 when we lost 1-0 in the fourth round or whatever it was. That was the last time. It was absolutely rammed. They were queuing around the car park. I think it was known that it was going, but obviously Town had been playing that night as well. And the Bags was absolutely rammed. Somebody opened a fire door, and this is a little bit of good fortune. I hope the bouncers aren't listening. Somebody opened a fire door
For something that happened 20 years ago.
We all burst. Loads of us burst in that were in the queue halfway back through this fire door, and the bouncers came steaming in from the inside as we all came in from the outside. And I literally come through the curtains. You come in through the curtain on the like what used to be like the top bar, and you come up the side of it. And I just popped out, and these bouncers come steaming towards me. And this lad just went, "All right, Bruce." And the bouncers came wading in, and this lad just passed me a pint. It was my ex-brother-in-law's brother, and I just happened to run in, or else I'd have been lobbed out very unceremoniously. And he just went, "Here, hold my pint a second." So I looked like I'd been in there with a pint. I'd literally walked through about 15 seconds earlier before the bouncers got there. Give me a pint. Most of the others that got lobbed, that flew in, got lobbed out.
Can I just say,
hang on a minute.
If you were listening to this, would you not think that this is what this is about? It's probably one of our biggest podcasts of the season. And can I just say as well, Bruce was saying before, can we limit this to 30 minutes because I want to go watch Newcastle v Liverpool, and he's just done a 5-minute bit on getting into the Bags Ball 20 years ago.
Bravo! That's why
I'm off now.
Bravo!
Good luck, Town.
10 more years. 10 more.
Before you tap him on the back, can I have a point?
Oh, Mike's died. But do you know? Just imagine this is exactly
Bruce,
what
your
people.
Ex-brother-in-law's brother. That would be your ex-brother-in-law.
It's just this is exactly what this podcast is for.
Sorry, Alex. Sorry, Mike. Say it again. Don't pretend don't pretend we've lost you. Say it again. What I said. My ex-brother-in-law's brother. Oh, he's feigning lost connection. Youngie, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? You know who that is, don't you? My ex-brother-in-law's brother.
Yes, that wouldn't be a brother-in-law.
No. Yeah, he'll pretend he's back now. Oh, sorry, lads, my connection's been restored. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, how dare we stop this professional broadcast talking about...
Right, have you got me? Have you got me?
Oh, fucking hell, Mike. Gee, no, I'm muting you. It's our biggest podcast of the year, probably. Playing one of the biggest clubs in the world. But let's talk more about Bruce's Bags Ball 20 years ago. So, Bruce, what would you say was your going strike rate for attracting a person of the opposite sex or same sex? We're not judgmental on this podcast. In terms of
I was an absolute. I thought you were just about to bring it back then.
Nah, fuck that.
Oh, mate, I was absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. I would just sit in the corner. I would stand in the corner and stand in the corner and sort of, stare at a girl that I liked for a little while and not actually have the courage to go and talk to her. And then when I was pissed enough, I'd then be on the dance floor and there'd just be a clearing around me because I was just like, just clearing space. At the end of the night, they'd send me on the dance floor to make sure everybody went home.
It's just could you imagine this is a film? Bruce is in the Winter Gardens trying to chat up a girl. Do you know, on this day, we beat Alfreton Town 3-0. And then there's me across in the aqua disco, not able to swim, so just wading around in the shallow end. Scared of the wave machine in case it knocks me over.
Yeah, welcome to the DN35 podcast where everyone is a loser.
And you're all losers too. Welcome to our group of losers. Mike, You've unmuted.
I'm a
What were you
loser.
gonna say?
I'm a loser.
So Mike is trying to put it in the studio chat, which we have, which means we can slag guests off and they can't see it. Oh, no, they can. You can't see it. Your ex-brother-in-law's brother would be your brother-in-law.
No, not if he's not your brother-in-law unless your sister married him. There you go.
No, bullshit. No, bullshit. It's your brother-in-law.
Mike, my sister was married to a bloke. Who is he to me?
Yeah. He's your brother-in-law. Well, I didn't. Oh, yeah. That's
Right.
Yeah.
He's my brother-in-law, right? So what? So how would I describe his brother?
He's still be your brother-in-law.
It's not fucking rocket science.
You are listening to the Manchester United preview show as Grimsby Town prepare to play one of the biggest clubs in the world.
I think Mike's been off work too long. You need to get back to work, mate. You're losing it. Right, we do need to talk about Man United, though.
Tacklebury says, do we?
Yes.
Do you know, how much fucking shit do we have to listen to those? Everyone talks about this. Boring. If you're a Man United fan and you've come across this because it has the word Manchester United in it, I don't fucking like you. It's boring. You're the Tesco's of football. All you are is a ham meal deal. That's it. And I know there are some of you poor bastards out there whose dads have been working in the coal mines of a Lowry Museum for the last 45 years and have got red going through your blood. But all we hear you talk about is, we've never had it so worse. It's awful. You never known suffering like it. You drew with fucking Fulham. Get over yourselves. You're still one of the biggest clubs in the world. Why don't you be fucking Morecambe for 30 seconds or have to watch Mike Newell get pissed and fall out of the Laceby Arms at 2:55 before you kick off at 3? Why don't you do that stuff? If you want to come onto this podcast and talk about that, I don't give a shit. It's boring. And all I have to hear about it on Talk Sport, which, by the way, I'm on tonight, and you can tell how important this game is. Do you know what time I'm going on Talk Sport to talk about it with Paul Ross? 11:30 at night.
He's not even on at 11:30. He's not on till 1 to the pre-recording you. That's how important you are to the world, mate. He's pre-recording you.
11:30 with Paul Ross. Paul Ross, by the way, the only famous person I've ever seen in Grimsby and Cleethorpes. He was leaving Morrison's when I was working. Morrison's got 2 shouts. You should be fucking sponsoring this thing. But yeah, no, don't care. You're all boring. Yeah, it's really hard being a Man United fan, is it? You've spent 1.4 billion. Do you know what you could have built with that 1.4 billion? The Burj Khalifa, and still had 200 million left over. Anyway, that was my thoughts on it. Does that help?
What are you most looking forward to about? It does seem wrong, like going down Grimsby Road and the sign says next game Manchester United. You know, we've never, like you say, 1948. We've never known this, and you know, just all of a sudden, I think the next 24, 48 hours is just going to blow our minds with the coverage that comes and like you say, the interactions and social media and stuff like that a club of that stature brings.
Well, they're all fucking idiots.
No, but they
get used to it. It's where we're going.
It's where the money is.
Yeah, Jason and Andrew are going to lead us to the Premier League. We'll be with our Brighton approach.
I didn't necessarily say that was us going to the Premier League. It might be Man United coming down to our level, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that not your press conference reference from a few years ago? 5 years we'll be in the Championship. Was it not that?
Well,
if not
he wasn't wrong. Did he say in 5 years' time we'd be playing Man United? He wasn't wrong, was he?
Sorry, Youngie, you had your hand up, mate. And
how many years we got left now?
What, in life or?
You go, Youngie. You go. Mike's talking to himself on a hill.
It's. I think them 5 years have well gone, Mike. We're well past them 5 years now. I think. By the way, Owen Ward wants to tell us it's his birthday on Friday. By the way, so happy birthday for Friday, Owen. But what am I most excited for? It's. I said this on the pod the other week. How many times I think I've watched FA Cup or League Cup draws and gone, love to get Man United. I'd love to, probably hundreds of times I've watched that and it's never ever happened. And it's finally happened and it's surreal. It's really surreal. It's really strange switching on the TV and seeing ITV1 advertising in prime time after Corrie on Wednesday night that it's going to be Grimsby Town versus Manchester United from Blundell Park. But it's great at the same time, and it's just an occasion. I hope that everyone just enjoys and gets and gives a good positive endorsement of the club at the end of it. I want a noisy, hostile Blundell Park, and let's bloody dare to dream, dare to dream that we can have a good go at this. And you just never know, do you?
I shared today, didn't I, that 20 years ago, 2005, I think we played arguably a better Tottenham team than we're going to face on. Yes, we could easily, we got stuffed. We got stuffed by Wednesday's reserves, didn't we? We lost comfortably to Forest. But like you say, you start at 0-0. Let's
give Wednesday's reserves a good run for their money this year.
That's what all 7 of them.
Fucking annihilate them.
But nine times out of 10, or 49 times out of 50, 48 times, you're going to lose this game, and you're going to lose it comfortably, and they'll stroll through it, and you'll lose 4 or 5-0. I will not enjoy it in the slightest if we have a repeat of the Chelsea game a few years ago. People made out like that was one of the best days ever, and I was embarrassed to lose that by that scoreline. You've got no pride in your club if that happens. I know there's a gulf now, but if we lose 3 or 4-0,
would you take 7-1, but they don't thank them for coming, over a 3-0 defeat and they thank them for coming? Which would you opt for?
Oh.
Well, the thing is though, if we were 7-1 down, I probably wouldn't hear what Kev was saying anyway. But yeah, I don't want. I just don't want us to be humiliated. It'd be lovely to score, wouldn't it? It'd be lovely to score, and even we had that moment at Chelsea where Matt Green made it. Was it 2-1 or 3-1? They scored about.
He scored. That was incredible.
They made it about. They were 2 or 3 up in no time. Was it? And but we had that moment that where you were back, where you were almost sort of back in the game for a few minutes. But it'd be lovely to get something like that while the game's, for us to score a goal that even if we're not on level terms, that means that we're a little bit excited by it, that it's not made it 6-1 or 7-1. I just don't want us to get spanked. I want us to go out and play like we can. The gulf's massive, isn't it? We've appreciated that when we've seen Forest and even Wednesday a couple of years ago. But we're a better team now than we were then, and I don't think Man United are any better than that Forest team that we played a few years ago. So, come on, Town. Let's give him it and see where it takes us.
You're not wrong, Bruce. And we talk about this. So we've done a little video with Nathan Salt, who runs the Rob Ryan Red podcast for Wrexham, but also covers Manchester United for the Daily Mail. And me and Youngie were talking. It's like all it takes is one to go in off someone's arse for us, and Man United fans won't be happy about that, will they? And I know that the 1,200 that are there will be the vociferous ones that you stand by the club. There'll still be nerves from the players, given how they perform. This isn't the Chelsea team that we played, but again, they are a team that spent 1.4 billion in the last 10 years. They should easily beat us. They've made more money in one season than we've had in nearly 150 years of football. There is no excuse for them losing. And there's no excuse for them not battering us. But given the way that we play and the ways that we can stretch people, and we're quick, it doesn't take much to be quick. And if you've got Harry Maguire at the back against Jace Cabia for a one-on-one, who's winning that race? I think we all know who. And all it takes is it to be slotted home. And then we've beaten better teams in living memory and away from home, not at home.
It all depends on the team he plays, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, when you'll hear it later, Mike. But they seem to think that the talk in United that it's going to be a fairly strong team on Wednesday night. Well, strong team for what Man United is now, I guess. Talk that Sesko might start, Maguire, Mainu, So they're going to have some talent. But have you seen the stat that's been making the rounds recently? I mean, Man United only scored 1 goal in the first half of a game in their last 11 games.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's we don't know what they're going to do, right? But I put it on social media earlier. This is the team that we play. I'm only saying it's 20 years ago, but this is a League Two team that was doing quite well. We were top of the table when we played Spurs, but we're only fourth now, aren't we? It was a month later. Robinson, England international. Naybet, I don't remember him. Salteri, I remember him playing quite a few for Spurs. Ledley King was class. Lee Young Pio, I don't remember him. Michael Brown, Andy Reid, Jermaine Genius, Michael Carrick, Robbie Keane, and Jermaine Defoe. That's going to be better than what we face on Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a top 4 Premier League team.
I mean, my favourite bit is I'm hoping Fernandes plays just to see if Kieran Green will just bump into him randomly during the game and he'll probably get his fucking face on.
Yeah, well, that would be quite funny. I mean, I'm only hoping we give a good account of ourselves. We make a bit of cash off the back of it. We're able to, Jason and Andrew, who always interview really well, get an opportunity to talk about the Grimsby Town story, because I think the story itself is the big part of bringing in investors, bringing in money from outside. And if we can turn a couple of kids away from that awful disease of wearing a Man United shirt in Grimsby and thinking football's a TV show, if we can get them hooked on live football to their local club, that's the goal. We got to turn as many kids away from living a sour life of thinking football is just match of the day, Sky Sports, terrible TV youth, fan TV channels. Hello, and bringing them to Blundell Park instead. I think if we can turn 15 kids on Wednesday, if we can make 500 grand, if we can bring in an investor, that's that, and we don't hand them Warsaw's new title of the biggest home defeat at Blundell Park. That would be great.
I think you're spot on, and I think the bit that you said early on in that is also important. The hopefully David or the owners will have an interview opportunity pre-match to talk about what we are trying to do, because we've talked about this before, and in the summer when we're talking about recruitment and stuff. We're still having to teach people that Grimsby is a decent little club. That they're not just this yo shit bottom end of League Two, National League. Anyone that's, we've said before, anyone that's under sort of 35 thinks that we're just a little piddly club. And yes, we've always punched above our weight a little bit, but we've punched for long periods at a level above where we should be playing. And if they can get the opportunity to, maybe a couple of players that are umming and ahhing, the transfer window's still open. Do you know what? That atmosphere looks good at Blundell Park. That other, I know. My agent's already spoken to David Artell, but I like the sound of what I'm hearing. And if we or if further down the line we come in for somebody on loan from a higher division, most football people will watch football when it's on the telly. And if that's on, DAZN, ITV, and Sky Sports on Wednesday night, that's a pretty global coverage, isn't it? It like you say, it can only be good for us as long as we don't get tonked.
And it's one of those things. Can you remember when we lost to Brighton? I know people weren't particularly happy about the Brighton performance. Well, some people weren't. I was happy about the journey we'd gone on. But that moment at the end of the game where the players came over to be applauded, if that can transmit onto TV and into those people who are new to the club, there won't actually be that many people new into the ground. But if you can transmit to them, like, look at how much the fans are with this club, because these players are incredible. They've started amazingly. Let's be honest, this is a nice free hit to a point. It's about making as much cash as possible. And then we focus on our game against Bristol Rovers on Saturday. But if you can transmit that togetherness onto the TV, and it will, as you say, Bruce, attract players, attract other fans. And again, it's that I always think you have to create a story around a club to get interest. It's not just about Grimsby doing well. It's about, we are the most entertaining football team on the planet. We're the most promoted and relegated team in English football. You're never going to get a boring season with us. You're going to get entertainment. You're going to get, a bang for your buck. And we've brought in guys, local guys have come in using their knowledge that they've taken outside of Grimsby, brought it back, and are using that with David Artell, with the people on board, to move the club forward and back it to where it was 20 years ago. That's going to be brilliant.
That Brighton moment does stick with me quite a lot, and I watch it back quite a bit because I think that was pretty amazing to see that live and then go back. Yeah, no, but I do go back and watch it a fair bit. No, I think it was amazing, and we've spoken about this before. I'm outside I moved in, and I'm not from here, but I think on Wednesday, likelihood is we're going to lose. We'll give a good fist of it. We could win, but likelihood is we're going to lose. And anybody that's going tomorrow, get into Blundell Park and show the watching nation. Yeah, show the watching nation that we're proud of our town and we're proud of our football club and we're proud of what we're doing. It isn't the butt of a joke. It isn't a shithole. It isn't little old Grimsby. We're fucking proud of it. So get in there and show everybody. We'll probably lose, but enjoy the fucking day.
And do you know what? One thing that really annoyed me when we beat Southampton, the commentator was a woman called Robin Cowan, who I quite like when she previews stuff and she does stuff on The Guardian and stuff. But the second we scored, it was about fish puns. And it's a huge moment, but it's lazy journalism. It's lazy not to spend some time, and it's disrespectful. It's a big moment, and all you're doing is fish puns. So we will rewatch that game again and again, watch Gav Holohan stick that ball away into the net. And all you're doing is that. I hope the people who are covering it are going to be better this time, because that sort of stuff is really lazy, disrespectful, and is exactly what we expect from people who only focus on the top six.
I think
Seb Hutchinson was doing. Sorry, on that Southampton one, Seb Hutchinson was doing the ITV one, I think, and you could tell him and Ali McCoist had really done their due diligence and had really researched it. And I think he'd even been on a course with Paul Hurst at the time. So hopefully it's more like that than as I say, I've heard that version you've heard, Alex, of the fish puns. Like, yeah, okay, fish, wow.
Yeah, I was just going to agree. I was just going to say the ITV. I thought the ITV was really.
Was it BBC maybe then?
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it was on
BBC highlights.
Yeah, it was on some BBC highlights. The ITV live show. That's where Ali McCoist won it. I've never wanted to be in a way so much in my life. They're going crazy in there. But I agree, Mike.
Well, I know Lucy Ward started following us this week, so maybe she's one of the co-coms that's coming up. We go, we'll send someone northern. They can. It'll be like.
I think she's all right. Actually, she's really good.
I think the studios are going to have to be remote, though, aren't they? I can't see that we've got room for many people. Obviously, there'll be somebody will have a live presence on the pitch, probably, but I can't see. Do you think Sky will just do it from a studio? ITV will be.
Who catches up?
Sorry.
Well, look at what we've seen when I've been looking for a house around here. Maybe they've bought one of the houses around the back and they've just got a view of the Findus out of the back bedroom, and that's what they'll do instead. But
well, someone was saying Pugach. Yeah, so that strikes me as that's like the ITV's sort of main lineup, and you probably get Roy Keane and Ian Wright love these sorts of games, so you might get those two. I don't know, but if Mark Pugach is coming, he's their number one presenter, isn't he? So you'd think he's probably.
We want Ali McCoist back, let's be honest. He loved it. He can relive it. We'll get him an inflatable fish. Josh is saying that he sent a compendium of facts, compendium to the Norwegian commentator with fun facts. So at least they'll be clued up. Anyone who's watching this doing a little bit of work, it's Blundell Park, not Blundell Park. Yes, we know it's in Cleethorpes. Any other things they want to tell him? Mariners Fish and Chip Shop is half decent, as is Seaway. Any others?
It's the Humber Estuary, not the North Sea.
Yeah. Anything from you, Bruce? Hold the record attendance at Old Trafford, founded members of the second division. The floodlights are the ones that inspired George Best to play football.
I think, aren't we the only club that's played in all the divisions? Well, obviously not with the Premier League, but all the divisions, because we got relegated out of Division 2 and we went to what became Division 3 for a season, but it was really Division 3 South. We were with all the southern teams for a year, and then we moved into the new Division 3 North. So, yeah, interesting. For people like me.
And Manchester United haven't beaten us since 1905 at Blundell Park. So,
and our first game in the Football League was against Manchester United.
Newton Heath. They had their green and yellow scarves out at the time. I assume they were protesting the Glazers.
But no, it's good. It should be good. I'm pleased for like Maisie's generation. It's another big game that I've seen plenty of big games. Us three have all seen big games. It's nice. It's nice for their generation to see that to have big teams come to Blundell Park. And I think if we can just get up to League One, and it's a big if because we haven't done it since 2004. But if we can just get up there, then we're going to have a problem because teams are going to want to bring more than 1,200, and then that's when the ground becomes a problem.
I would imagine Manchester United wanted to bring more than 1,200 as well.
yeah. But it's the sort of problem that Maisie and her generation will see. Because when we used to give up, we used to give 2,300, didn't we? You've seen the videos, Bolton and that packing out the away end in the mid-90s and even in the noughties, Chef Wednesday, and you get clubs like that, and even your Cardiffs that are in Huddersfield, they're all gonna moan at 1,200, aren't they, if we get promoted? But that's all we're gonna give them.
Is Cardiff is now the team that we haven't played most recently, Bruce? I assume if anyone has the facts, it'd be you.
It does ring a bell.
Cardiff and Everton, I think. Last time we played Everton was the 80s, wasn't it? 85. So Everton and Cardiff are the most, I think.
We'll get Everton in the next round. We'll do it away.
What are your movements, mate? Are you coming up, stopping over, and going back the next day?
Depends.
Depends how we do.
It depends how we do. My movements might be pretty pretty erratic with 10 minutes to go if we're 1-0 up. But
is the calendar clear Thursday and Friday potentially?
I'll be entirely honest. I haven't even asked work for the time off yet because I was going to ask him on Friday when I finally got a ticket sorted. My boss had gone away to Cornwall, so I was like, I can't really ask him then. So I've already put a meeting in 9:05 tomorrow. Can I take tomorrow off and maybe the rest of the week?
What about you, Youngie? You haven't had a problem with shifts or anything, have you?
Yeah, I'm going to. No, I'm completely free. So little one's getting dropped off at dancing at 10 o'clock. That's it. I'm free for the day. So whoever, if anyone wants some company early on, I'm free. Yeah. I'm available. And I'm excited.
That sounds bloody potentially dangerous.
I will see if I can have the whole day off. I will try and get what should I leave? Like 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that. My dad says, let's show that these have a habit of treating us disparaging what a club we are and excellently how much it means to us. Thanks, Dad. I'll see if I can come and see you as well. But apparently we're going to the best kept secret or the hidden gem.
Hidden gem. Yeah, we'll go for Fenners will meet us there, won't you, Fenners?
I was in the hidden gem after the last home game. It's quite handy little spot.
Yeah, it's not too far from where I'll be staying.
So yeah, it breaks up the walk, doesn't it? Breaks up the walk to Cleethorpes,
and then into Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. Me and Maisie are gonna, because of traffic. We have problems at night games normally, and I tend to drive because the buses don't run after the game. It's a problem. You've got to wait. You've got to wait till like 10:30 for a bus home, which obviously if we win is not going to be a problem. Yeah, potentially going to get the bus down there, I think, and then I'm not going into Cleethorpes. I don't think I'm going to go straight down to the ground because I want Maisie to experience the build up with me for a change rather than me popping out at 3:02. So yeah, it's a chance to make memories, isn't it? And she, like I say, they deserve it. It's next week against Bristol Rovers, I'll be in the bar again, but I think. I want to watch it with her. I want to take in the whole experience with her and actually remember to take a few photos and stuff like that because historically I am appalling at that sort of thing. And I love it, when people share pictures of of them and their family and friends at matches and stuff like that for the accounts. It's like, why the frigging hell didn't I ever do any of that? Why didn't me and my mates take a camera to Wembley and all that sort of stuff. So it's it's an opportunity to make memories with your friends and your loved ones that you go and watch the games all the time.
Right, here we go then. If we win, last one to the centre spot buys the drinks, and we'll all take a big pod picture in the centre circle.
If we win, Maisie can walk home on her own.
I think she'll have turn around. Dad. I'll be honest. Charlie's going to be exactly
you're
the
just
same.
shouting at her. All about the memories, Maisie. All about the memories.
You can just see Mike throwing some shapes on the dance floor in the squashy with Finn sat there with a Smirnoff Ice, like, oh my god, Dad.
all our kids are just sat there already on the Alco Pops. It's the Grimsby way.
Yeah.
He wants to try this weekend.
So proud. So proud.
Tacklebury says, so the club historian is shit at history, very town. Look, anybody got anything else to add? I see Mike's gone, so we won't get anything more from him. But anything else anybody wants to add before we get off?
No, mate. Just good luck, town. Up the Mariners.
Absolutely. All I can say to people is enjoy it. Get behind the lads, and whatever happens, let's try and make sure we stay behind. Let's not do what Bruce does and just slink off to the lower finders. Let's stay behind, give them a round of applause, because we've got a big game against Bristol Rovers on the Saturday, because promotion is beckoning. Currently undefeated. Man United haven't beaten Town at home since 1905. And get on to TalkSport at the busy hour of 11:30 this evening to listen to me talk to Paul Ross, apparently. But for what we'll do is we'll leave you with Nathan, myself, and Youngie having a chat about the Manchester United side of things, and we'll go from there. See you all later. Oh, it's taking ages. Right, so everybody, Nathan could well have truly taken the Wrexham gravy train and ridden that into the sea, but he has a real job away from the Rob Ryan Red podcast and does Manchester United stuff on the side for the Daily Mail. Nathan, we will start this like every Football League show. How are Wrexham?
They're struggling, which is probably music to your listeners' ears and every other person that asks me right now. That they're not doing good, and they're spending a lot of money and not doing good. So yeah, everyone can laugh at Wrexham right now.
Well, we wouldn't laugh. You've given us a lot of entertainment. You helped pay for tickets for kids to go to the final. We responded by giving you, I think we gave you most of the money back, and you used it for kids to do mascot packages and stuff, which was quite nice. And, you know, we could make you watch the 5-4 on an endless loop for the next 3 hours, but that's just rude. So let's talk about another club that spend a lot of money and are struggling. How are things down at Old Trafford, or as we call it, our home, because obviously we are the record holders, attendance holders at Old Trafford. So it, you know, the big club are in town. So how are things down there?
Very calm, as you can imagine, and like very nothing to report really, gents. Very just no. It's not good, as it never is under Manchester United's reign and watch. You know, it was funny last week. Everyone was quite optimistic, myself included. It was kind of like, oh, they've turned a corner. They lost to Arsenal, but they dominated the game and they played better, and then they don't play as good against Fulham, and now it's kind of people are worried about the prospect of what if Man United lose to Grimsby, like what actually if happens for Ruben Amorim if Grimsby beat Man United. And I think if I'm a Grimsby fan or I'm a Grimsby player, obviously you're not really expected to beat Man United, but you must be nice to play a team going, they are absolutely terrified if this is 0-0 at 70 minutes, the prospect of losing to us. So I think that's a good spot for Grimsby to be in personally.
Do you think with all that going on and the lack of Europe and everything that's kind of like, because let's be honest, Man United have never, for a long time, haven't really taken the League Cup that seriously. Even I was speaking to a Scunthorpe supporter at work today, and he mentioned that when they played them under Ferguson never even bothered turning up for the game. That's how.
Yeah, but that's just going to Scunthorpe. You can understand that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. But but with the lack of Europe and possibly like the struggle of getting a European place, surely they're going to take the League Cup seriously, or you'd like to think they're going to.
You'd like to think so. I mean, they haven't got a choice. They could be playing Barcelona next or Grimsby Town. They need to win a football match. I actually don't think it matters who the opponent is. They just need to win, because I was chatting to somebody at the club before the game, and I said, I sort of hope for your sake, because you work at the club, I said, I thought for your sake that they beat Fulham today. Otherwise, it's a long old week. Like I said, they've got the Grimsby game to break it up, but normally it's just a long old time to stew when you've got no Europe. You haven't got that press conference or that, you haven't got all these different things that can change the news cycle. It's just like Man United are bad for 7 days in a row. And it'll be Man United are very, very bad if they lose to Grimsby. And I actually think it'll be a lot of changes. I don't think you're really going to see Bruno Fernandes, and I don't think you're going to see sort of some of the others, Lenny Yoro, for example. But you'll get a lot of big names there at Grimsby on Wednesday night. Trust me about that.
Well, Harry Maguire's turns up at Gainsborough quite a lot, doesn't he, Youngie, to watch games with his brother playing in and stuff. So I'd imagine at least he knows the way. He can tell everyone where to go. And there was that beautiful picture you put up on of the Man United bus arriving at Fulham today on Stevenage Road. It's going to be slightly different on Wednesday at Harrington Street. A kid waiting there, 20 quid to look after the bus, mate. As Bruno Fernandes treads in dog shit as he gets off the steps. But I mean, it can go one or two ways. They're either going to take it seriously and come out and try and hammer us, or if for whatever way we get a goal first, whether it goes if on someone's arse, that can be. I mean, I'm very basic when it comes to Manchester United, so I would imagine their fans, that core fans that have been able to get 1,200 tickets, they're passionate and follow the club. Will they start getting on their backs if we've somehow 25 minutes in, it goes in off someone's arse and we're 1-0 up? Will there be beads of sweat coming up on people's brows?
Oh God, aye. But I think Man United have probably got the best. I think definitely from the Premier League, they've got the best away fans in the country, and I actually think other Premier League fans agree with that. The Man United contingent that will turn up at Grimsby will be loud and will be good, but they also don't have tons of patience. They've got a lot compared to a lot more than what you'd see online. Some of the social media reaction is a lot stronger than what you get from the match going fans. But if it goes in off someone's arse and they're 1-0 down, and Ruben Amorim brings on 3 defenders to try and shore things up against Grimsby, I think there might be. I don't know what the security is like. It's probably an agency, but they might have a mutiny towards the away end. So we'll see. Look, United. I mean, it's just one of them where I keep playing it over in my mind. I've been up to Grimsby. We lost there 1-0. Craig Disley scored right in front of the away end, and a Grimsby fan started on me in the McDonald's. It was a really bad, and it was a rainstorm, like of epic proportion. Getting back,
he's having a happy meal.
So I was like, that was one of the funniest looking back, but the most dreadful away days I've ever been on. And yeah, I keep playing all these scenarios, going, surely, even with like 11 change, surely Man United can't. As good as I think Grimsby are this season, you'll be right up there in League Two, and hopefully you guys go up. But surely United can't mess it up. That's what I keep saying to myself, and then I'm like, oh, they can do anything. We've seen cup shocks all over the world.
Well, do you know what? If it comes, I know we reached the FA Cup of the quarterfinals a couple of years ago, but I think the League Cup is our bread and butter when it comes to giant killings. We beat Spurs at home, we've beaten Liverpool away in my memory, Leicester City when they were the holders of what was it, the Worthington Cup at the time, I think it was. So there is, and Nathan, I don't know if you were aware of this, there is something called the Grimsby Reaper, where we are quite famous for getting rid of managers. And you lose to Grimsby, that's a hard pill to swallow. So I'm wondering whether or not there's another opportunity for us to take another scout.
Well, you've just given us a headline. If it does go wrong now, the Grimsby Reaper, someone better be making that picture with the Grim Reaper going past the door, and it's always got the badges on. Just need that of managers you've taken out.
I thought you were going to say Alan Partridge on the bed.
Or that, whatever you want to make, just enjoy yourself. That's what I say. Just enjoy it, man. Rio Ferdinand once said.
Well, I'm hoping we're kind of treating it like a Big Brother contestant of the early 2000s. We've got a week to make as much cash as humanly possible.
Right.
And then it's kind of like that episode of The Simpsons, Youngie, where, they start filming Hollywood stuff there. And there's a tax for this, there's a tax for that. Well, if you speak to a Vox Popper fan on Grimsby Road, that's 50 quid in the kitty, I'm afraid. And just keep pulling it in.
The thing is, maybe I'll throw it to Youngie, but the thing is, like, if you make wads of cash and like don't get embarrassed and lose, okay, it's not, you've lost the match, not great, but then your main focus is getting promoted anyway. So it's like not a disaster. Again, I've been in that situation with Wrexham. I don't think it's patronising, it's just not a disaster. And if you win, you've pulled off like one of the greatest nights in it. So for you, I think there's so much opportunity either way.
I've always treated, I think, and you guys will be the same. when you get a big cup game, when you're a lower league team, I think the first thing you always think, can we score? That'd be nice. Be nice to see some limbs. Nice to have a little bit of a celebration. And then the second part is, can we not get tonked? And they're the if you can get them two basics, then you feel you've had, and you can make some money. Great. Everyone's kind of like, you can walk away with your head held high, can't you? I think with the League Cup, what is interesting, and I suppose with the FA Cup now as well, is that suddenly no extra time makes a big difference for lower league teams. If you can just suddenly, if it's 60 minutes and it's still 0-0, and suddenly you go, God, if we can just hold on for half an hour here, penalties is anybody's business. I mean, we're as bad as penalties, by the way, as Man United are right now. In fact, you mentioned about getting started on at that McDonald's. I think you got your revenge of the coldest day in Wembley history later that season, that FA Trophy final. And actually, what I think has happened is that Richard Brodie has hit his penalty South London. Bruno has hit it North London bound, and they've actually now just met in the middle, and it's just landed in the Thames somewhere. So so we're as bad as penalties as Man United. So my prediction is that ITV need to make sure that the news at 10 is scheduled for about 11, because it's probably going to go to something like 2-2 on penalties after 32 penalties. And if we get that, jobs are good.
Could you imagine just the sympathy penalty by the end of it? It's just roll it in. We don't even want to be in the League Cup. Just I'm going to stand at the edge and you can roll it in, and Cabby will put it wide. But it's I guess the question is what would you given there's going to be changes? Are there any players sort of below that first 11 that you could necessarily expect us to be facing off against that we should be worried about? I mean, we'll be worried about everyone, but is there anyone we should keep an eye out for?
Definitely. I think there'll be a lot of changes as you would expect, but this is quite a highly motivated group. One game a week means a lot of players aren't getting minutes. The first two league games for Man United, Joshua Zirkzee and Kobbie Mainoo, both unused substitutes. They didn't look particularly happy on the pitch at Craven Cottage at the end. I can understand that. Fans particularly aggrieved about Mainoo, and Amarin said after, look, he's competing with a spot against Bruno Fernandes, and that's it. That's the only spot he can go for that in the team. And most weeks you're going to struggle to get in ahead of the captain, right? Like we've all watched teams. If you got the armband, you're very well protected, and Bruno's very talented. So I would expect Mainoo to play. I don't know if he's played on too many pitches like Blundell Park, but he's very, very talented if he can get the ball down and play. Zirkzee will be a real handful, physically, very commanding. I was going to make a comparison that he's got a kind of a frame a bit like Matt Reed, but that just doesn't make any sense. And also, I'm trying to appease the lower league listeners here, like me. That's just ridiculous. Zirkzee is a good player.
Who's the Luton defender that we all forget?
The Luton defender.
Sean McNulty.
That was it.
There you go, McNulty. Now, I'm gonna stop trying to make comparisons between League Two and National League footballers and Premier League internationals. So I'm gonna stop that right now. But Zirkzee, I think, will play. My rough guess at the team would be Andre Onana in goal. Obviously, hasn't played yet. They're about to sign this new goalkeeper from Belgium, and I don't think even if that is done in time, I can't imagine he gets fed to the Grimsby Reaper straight off from the off. So I would imagine that Onana plays. A back three will probably be Harry Maguire in the middle. I think Aidan Heaven will play as the left centre back, and maybe Diogo Dalot might play as like the right centre back. I don't know. It might be Lenny Yoro again, but I would be surprised. I think Diego Leon, somebody they brought in, a youngster that hasn't yet played, hasn't been on the bench for the first two games. Even with it being Grimsby, I'd be surprised. That's a tough place to chuck a youngster who's not in great command of the language. I think you've got to factor that in. It is an issue. So I think it'll probably be Dorgu again as the left wing back, right wing back, maybe Ahmad. I think it'll be Mainoo and Ugarte probably as the midfielders. The 10s will probably be, I think Mason Mount will probably play again, and then Zirkzee. And I've got a feeling he might start Sesko, up front. He hasn't started a game yet. He's come off the bench. So I don't know how much. have Grimsby spent 74 million in their entire history on everything from like pens and pencils to?
Well, I was trying to work out whether when we played Southampton, if Southampton, I know the former CEO of Southampton, they made 185 million in 1 year. The argument would be they've made more money in one season than Grimsby ever did in 150 years. So no, I don't think we have. Lee Ashcroft came quite close. I think we saw it sign in for £300,000 in the 90s.
No. It was half a million.
Was it?
It was.
God,
so with inflation, that's basically 74 million is what you're telling your listeners here.
Well,
what you just said.
And when we're talking about money as well, here's a question for you, Nathan. So obviously it's split. Man United get 45% of the gate receipt on Wednesday. Do you see Jim Radcliffe kindly, as you've seen other Premier League teams go, you keep that 45% because you're a lower league team? Or do you think grubby Man United hands will grab it and disappear down the M62?
You absolutely know. That's rhetorical. That's a rhetorical question. You know the answer to that. You've said Sir Jim Ratcliffe, kindly, and money in the same sentence, and you don't. He's
going to be in our ticket office counting it out. One for me, one for you, one for me, one for you.
He'll be there. He'll be there taking the money himself, mate. He'll fly into Grimsby, fly back out again.
I've got images of him like checking out the floodlights. Go, look, they only do it with 4. Look at that. They've only got 12 bulbs in theirs. Like...
Youngie, but what about this? They are the floodlights that inspired George Best to play football. There you go. So so when they were at Wolves, because obviously they're second hand, we got them off Facebook Marketplace from Wolves, and they inspired George Best apparently to play football. So, and also, I'd love to know whether or not we hold both the highest attendance at Old Trafford and the lowest, because we played Barrow in an FA Cup replay there, and I think there was about 1,000 people there. So that could be a nice bookender.
What I would say though is in terms of the selection, I really like Aidan Heaven as a centre back. I think he's young, he's a teenager, but he's physically very commanding. He's not going to lose a lot of duels in terms of I don't know exactly you guys now the makeup of your team, but he will be as good as anyone. Maguire, as you know. So in terms of the old thing is like, well, you'll be able to bully these teams, right? Because you'll be stronger, you'll want it a bit more. But a back three that's if it is Heaven, let's just I'll make it even younger. Let's just go Heaven, Maguire, and Tyler Fredrickson. So he's another youngster from the academy. So let's just say it's those three. They were the 3 centre backs on the bench against Fulham. You would probably target Fredrickson there because he did look a little bit vulnerable at Brentford last season. But in Maguire and Heaven, you've got 2 real dominant threats in both boxes. I think that's good going into a game against a lower league team. It's where the game is interesting is that at the other end, defensively, if you've got 6'5" Benjamin Sesko and United can get the crosses in, that's where it doesn't need to be tiki-taka on the deck. It can just, you know what I mean? If you've got a side where it's Xerxes 6'3" or whatever, Sesko 6'5".
We're going to be out lower league by Man United.
Somehow that they'll out lower league you, which is just like incredible. But actually, that quote unquote second 11 the game might kind of lend them. You know what I mean? Like, often when I see these Premier League teams go, it's like, they just kind of look and go, oh, they want to get it down, they want to play. I remember when Jose Mourinho took Tottenham to Marine, and I just thought my eyes it just didn't look right. I think they ended up winning that game comfortably, but if you allow Man United to just dictate the play, Kobbie Mainoo will just slice you apart. That's obvious. He's an incredibly talented footballer. If you make it difficult, I think they've got enough to go, well, we're just going to go direct then. If you were just going to keep pumping it to us, we'll just pump it back. And we've got the taller guys, probably.
I'm interested to know, because when Amarin came in, he was very specific, wasn't he, about the fact that, like, we've got a system. I've got a system. We play this system. I will drill this system into the players, and that is the way we'll move forward. Do you think if United stick with this guy long term, that he can get this working?
I would love to say yes, and I'll keep it short and sweet because I know that you guys have got to go. But he'll be there for Grimsby. I know that much, and I think that result will very much depend where the sway is, because it's. He's under the cosh, but there's no doubt about that. He spent big money, 200 million on an attack. He's going to get a new goalkeeper now. he's been allowed to get rid of Garnacho, and he's kind of not using Mainu, a really popular academy figure. If you're going to be back to the hilt, with respect, gents, you've got to beat Grimsby Town in the League Cup. And if he doesn't, I might be back on covering a team with a different manager. I don't know. It's just a must not lose, and it's a must not win awfully either. It's a bad cocktail going to Blundell Park. Not just for the McDonald's that's probably got fans waiting to find me again, but apart from that, it's not looking up for hammering, I don't think.
I do like the idea that at the end, David Artell's going, they dragged us down to their level, playing long balls.
I hope he says that. I hope after he comes back and just says, we played the nicer football. And they played direct. They're a direct football team.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan, thank you so much. Hopefully we'll have you back on post Wednesday to talk about, what would sound like a very busy day for you if we were to beat them. But
okay, James, appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cheers, Nathan.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. They've been fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! Really